cameras you were using now.
All right, welcome to the show. Maybe time stopped. Man, y'all don't appreciate us. The hell with y'all. This show is over. Roll Tide.
Sweetwater in.
Uh,
See, I don't do anything at the beginning of the show, so yeah, that's better. That one's better.
I'll be back to being blue again. See, look, all that bitching and moaning, y'all made me blue this morning.
Is there? There's got to be settings somewhere for that Logitech in there.
Yeah, I know because the Logitech. If I went in to look for, I downloaded it, and when you go to install it, it says it needs this, and it seems to have had a problem. Try again. If this persists, please contact the manufacturer. Yeah. So good morning there. It's terrible. I know, RG. I wore this just for you, man.
Wait. Okay, this is my Halloween costume. Who am I?
You want me to show you my Halloween costume from last night? Do I have some sunglasses?
I actually need a darker hoodie, but
Harlan said we had to wear a costume to wing night, so I wore my sunglasses in with my hoodie on and told him.
Oh wait, gotta take the glasses off. There.
I told him I was Ted Krasinski, the Unabomber.
He drove a Volkswagen. No, wait, that was Ted Bundy.
I don't have any sunglasses.
I'm John Fetterman. I don't look sloppy enough. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, Scott was not on doggy poop. Scott was trying to figure out how to put the other camera, the phone to this thing, and I've done it before. I just can't remember.
It's an easy task, but I can't remember either.
This camera is so blue on this side of the office, and then if you do the one in the computer, it's color is better, but it looks like it's been shot through a potato.
I still don't get it. Now, what you're on a 2019, I'm on a 2020. They should have good cameras in there because the iPhones.
21 or 22s when they finally upgraded them. They were 720 cameras for the longest time.
The thing is, though, the iPhone 12 that I'm using has a great camera. Your 10 has an awesome camera.
Yeah, this is
but yet
this MacBook was $3,500, and that's the camera they put in it.
I know, right?
It makes no sense. So we'll pick. I don't know. It looks to maybe it's adjusting a little better, or I'm getting used to it. I don't know. So who's in who's here? The usual suspects. Phil and Ron, good morning. Porcelain Princess, good morning. Jacob, you're up early. James is surprised that Lag got a wrench. Yeah,
you gave Lag a wrench.
Sometimes you have to embrace your trolls.
Oh Lord!
So don't step out of line, or Lag will be.
You know it's going to go to his head.
Somebody has to put some faith into him besides his mother.
There might be a reason nobody ever has.
When she's feeding him his pancakes, open up the train goes in and all that stuff. Somebody else has got to step in there.
We got your back, Lag.
Morning, Tom, Diane.
I'm just being
good
cautious
morning.
with this stuff.
RG, is it cold in South Alabama? This is ridiculous. It's 26 degrees here this morning. It sucks.
It's warmer here, but we have some lovely white material all over the roads and the ground.
Yeah, it didn't go that crazy here.
Chilly.
I want to say it's about 35 here, maybe a little bit more.
Let's see.
Oh, that's Siri. Hey, Siri. What's the temperature?
I was supposed to bring Johnny's ponytail.
It's 38 degrees outside.
I forgot. So it's colder here. Hey, Larry, good morning. MSG, good morning, good morning. Patricia,
you can't see that because of that shit camera.
Yeah. It's either my eyes are getting used to it or it's getting better. So I hope everybody's had a good week. Whether it was great or not, your attitude. We talked a lot about last time. I was really kind of banging home about just avoiding the negativity and the craziness that goes on in your surroundings, and especially if social media, if you can do your best to folks that change who you hang out with, change. That's the one the one lesson from hanging out with Harlan so much is he is very good about listening to each day, listening to a positive podcast, something. It might even be the same one over and over. Somebody who gets you pumped up for the day, gets you going, and just some positive affirmation and whatever that word is. Hey, good morning, Laura from the other side of town. I'm sure it's cold on the other side of town. Dave Clausen, northwest Wisconsin. Yeah, I would move. 18 degrees. I would move.
I mean, I live in Ohio, and I don't want to live in Wisconsin. It's even worse.
Hey, James. I would definitely move. You know what's one constant thing about reselling shows, though? Almost everyone I ever watch, there's one constant.
And that is?
Jennifer Hayes. Good morning. I don't know how you watch so many shows, Jennifer. Jennifer's in every chat, I think.
Jennifer's the female bum crack picker.
Right. And then we got. I've never seen Righteous Monkey before. Good morning. From Tucson, Arizona. Yeah.
But it's where we're in Tucson.
Jennifer says she has no life. So I did a short this week about, or maybe it was just a short about the way search acts, and there's got to eBay needs some feedback on this. I get that sometimes if you're searching for clothes, they'll show you things, but when I was looking for a specific ink cartridge. I have a printer over there. Did the video come out today or tomorrow? I've got it. I just got to finish. It's edited. It's uploaded. I just got to get it out, make it live. But the printer took 63 ink cartridges. So the first 3 or 4 that you look down, there's a 64, there's a 67, there's a 901, there's all these different ink cartridges, and you're like, eBay, I get that you're trying to sell your search and you're trying to expand it out, but you're just gonna, if you get a customer to buy the wrong ink cartridge, you're just gonna be mad, because I can tell you what. The only way a non-63 works in that printer is if you hit it with a fucking hammer. That's it. You've got no other choice, because you've got to make it go in that machine. So why, if I'm looking specifically for an HP 63 black ink cartridge, do I get everything else under the sun? That makes no sense.
Like I was telling you before the show, I was looking up this phone. Galaxy Note 5 should be easy. And it gave me everything but that. Now, I finally did find it after about 10 or 15 items before it. And then I still, to drill down to find out exactly what this thing is worth, which is not a lot of money, by the way. You still have to go through all that crap because there's no real way to filter it all out.
So that phone has got some value that most people don't see. And I've got a note here to do this video. So interesting, watching other people. So who was I watching? I was watching Nurse Flipper last night, and I've never watched her before in my life. And she had a real big audience. They were answering a lot of just really basic questions, and so it's probably why I don't see a lot of those folks, because if new people tune in here, they quickly see that we go above their head pretty quick, which is Cashew Castaways, Northeast North Carolina. Where are you at? I don't know if
you're
you
above
know
my head most of the time.
I don't know if you know my history or not, but I grew up in Kinston, North Carolina. That is Eastern North Carolina. I was there for 17. Hey, Jeremy, good morning. Back here, good morning. And so the question was about, my cameras on my phone is terrible. I've got an older phone. It's no memory, no nothing. I've got a really expensive camera, but I can't figure out I use a light box, but all the pictures turn out gray. Folks, there's one reason why your pictures turn out gray. Your white balance is off. Sit. AJ and all, good morning. And so use a cheaper point and click or learn how to operate that big 4 Ti, and so that you can. The white balance is a pretty easy setting. Okay, YouTube is your friend. You found us. You can search on YouTube how to adjust the white balance on a 4 Ti. It'll show you. You order these little cards. They're about $6.99, $7.99 for all the Windsor. I got you. And it is not that difficult. Make sure picture's better, and so a lot of people say, hey, get a second phone, run it on Wi-Fi, just like this one right here is. This is a 10X Max. I'm gonna knock my coffee over. Sorry. I take all the eBay pictures with either that one or the old Galaxy, the S21 Ultra. One of those two, whichever one is closest, is the one I take the pictures with. There's a couple reasons. One reason, I don't want to fill this one up with eBay pictures. So the Google phone is on Google that doesn't back up, because I don't want I don't want those pictures stuck in my Google files either. And this one I have on a different Apple ID, and so it's got its own pictures and its own Apple ID. You guys do realize that you can have multiple Apple IDs.
Sure.
You can find these phones, but Beard, all I find is an 8, an A, maybe an X. Those are perfect cameras. Anything that's like a 7th, an iPhone 7 or above, or any kind of Galaxy 7 or above, are way more camera than eBay ever needed. I challenge you to find an older phone. Even
this 5 takes nice pictures.
Yeah, Steve's got a 5 in it. You don't need. You can go get a Google phone.
You can't see it, but these are eBay pictures I took and they look pretty decent.
Yeah, you go get a Google phone. You put in. Don't use your regular Google. So if you have an Android phone that's on, whatever your main email is, go into Google, make up another email address, put it on that phone. That way the pictures never cross. You've got it there. You list it. You list it. But Beard, I use my computer. Oh my God. Well, then log in to Google Chrome through that phone's email address, and all your photos show up on your computer while you're doing it. I mean, this is not terribly difficult. Buy a small phone. Buy a small camera. These little bitty point and shoot cameras take good enough pictures. And then but you're gonna have to use your computer. Most people, or a lot of people, would rather use a phone. I would rather use a phone.
I use my phone.
So so Chastity says she traded her XR for a 14, the Pro. Wish she'd have kept it. I'm telling you, it's these, as a reseller, an older phone is, and you can pick them up. Look at estate sales, yard sales. You can find these. You can find phones are not difficult to find. I'm going to make a video on how to. So I mentioned that how to. Somebody also had another. So there's that. So I'll make a video about phones, and then the next one was, I've got 2 eBay accounts. How do you keep up with it on one phone without logging in and logging out? There is one way. There's one way. You can't do it on Apple. If you happen to have, let me get the other one.
You could.
So I think they started with I had one. So a great phone is an S10. I had an S10 Plus. I sold that phone, I think, to a viewer. A viewer bought that phone. That was a great phone. I did a lot until I retired this one, and I sold that one but this is an S21 Ultra. That S10 or S9 is where they started. It's called if you look in here, where are you? There's a little thing there, right on the other side right there, called Secure Folder. I don't know if you can see it or not. So these phones come with what's called a secure folder. All you gotta do is activate the secure folder. And basically what it is, it's a vault inside your phone. And so if you wanted to put your financial stuff in there or whatever, It takes a password to get in. Then it takes another password to get into your secure folder. You can name anything you want to and put a little icon on it, and nobody will have any idea what it is. So that way your financial stuff is double hidden in a phone. But the nice thing about it is once you open the secure folder, you can go to the App Store and that you can re-download the eBay app. It works like an operating system in an operating system. So any pictures you take inside the secure folder are only show up there. They don't show up in your regular pictures.
So it's like having a second phone.
It's like having a second phone. So you can open the eBay app in there and put it to your second account, and you put it on the main eBay account outside the secure folder. And now you've got all you have to do is log into the secure folder, hit eBay, and there you go. And
do you get your notifications like regular or no?
It'll say a notification in the secure folder.
I do it by having two browsers. So I'll use a Firefox and a Chrome
so two browsers, is here people go, but how would I don't want to log into a second account. I forget about it. I've told you Pirate Ship since 2016. Pirate Ship will pull as many eBay accounts as you've got. And so when I was operating a second account, I don't have one right now on eBay, but it's still open, and I plan, Mark, if you're watching, if I ever open that box, it's sitting right there. The scanners are over there and ready, to start listing postcards and getting Johnny to list postcards. Yeah, it's weather changes. Johnny feels terrible, so yeah, that's terrible. So that's what you do. You run your eBay on the phone. The pictures never mix, so you can run that second one and use your main phone to do that. Then they never mix. And then you run two accounts on the same phone, and then you never forget about it, because when you pull it up on Pirate Ship, it pulls all of them at one time. And it'll just show you all things you got to ship.
And if you really wanted to, in your no, Pirate Ship probably doesn't pull that. Does Pirate Ship pull the custom SKU information?
Yes.
I don't think it. So if it does, you can actually in that custom SKU put which store it's in.
It does, because Jacob lists a lot of remotes, and it'll put in there. He's just got the number of the remote, so I think he's up to like 180 now. So it said that yesterday I was looking for a Sony remote, and in the very end of it, in parentheses, it has the thing. It said 63. It was remote number 63. So it does tell you in the description what it is.
So yeah, you could always put store A, store B in that custom SKU if you wanted to, and that way you know which one it goes to.
Yeah. So Jeremy's 100% right. It's easy with these phones to take in square cameras, and phones are simple to put in square mode. That's what eBay uses. Don't act like Google. You're on the computer right now. Google. You realize Google owns YouTube. Okay, there you go.
Phil, I just got a message from eBay saying that they were going to add combined shipping on international.
That is correct.
That is correct. I don't do international shipping, so.
I just got that message yesterday on not on my eBay messaging, but on my email from eBay.
So Jacob is saying you can do that for 3 accounts on a Samsung Galaxy. So Dawn, you're correct. Anything from an S8 up, and anything from an iPhone 7 up, they take great pictures.
I've always been use what you got. You don't have to go out and buy special stuff. And everybody by now has to have a fairly decent camera on their phone.
So that was the answer to there. How do you answer a bunch of questions? But when you're watching a show like that, it was surprising. So you got 4 YouTubers on there. They all sell on eBay. They've all sold eBay for quite a while. Nobody really knew. You need the tech nerd in your life. You need somebody who can figure this stuff out. Because if there's a way to do it, you need that friend that will, you know what I mean? You need that friend that will figure this stuff out. Especially if you're going to ask questions. If you're going to answer questions, if people throw questions, that show had a lot of questions in the chat. You guys, if y'all are more than welcome to ask us questions. We'll choose whether to answer them or not, but we're open to most anything. You can ask Todd what's he got for breakfast there in the bowl. Looks like he's eating pecans or something.
Yeah, our
Almonds.
pecans are
walnuts.
starting to drop, so
That was good.
I picked some up out of the backyard yesterday and was cracking them while I was watching the Ranger game.
Did you shoot him down with the spear gun?
No,
They
I grabbed
people
the
are
trunk.
asking what show. I know you mentioned it, but somebody must have missed it. What show you're talking about? The reseller show.
So Lag says multiple Chrome users does the same thing. But you're not, if you're going through Chrome, you're not using the eBay app. You're now using eBay through the browser. I find eBay app a little more user friendly on a phone.
I agree with that.
So Phil has an honest question: will Pirate Ship do combined shipping for eBay International Shipping? Have a buyer bought separate eBay one? Can you combine shipping on Pirate Ship? I always just go to eBay and ship those. Though I guess the one thing you can do, Phil, is put it all in one box, and then you're gonna go back to eBay and put that tracking number in every one of them.
Oh, that message about international shipping from eBay says I've been selected for exclusive early access, so it may not be for everyone yet.
I got the email too, but I read it the first line and deleted it. So
I don't do with all the craziness that's going on with global shipping and eBay, all that stuff, eBay International. I have turned off global shipping for the past 4 or 5 months just because it's not worth. Hey, Brian, good morning. It's not worth the hassle. You read too many horror stories of people. I turned on international shipping and my sales turned off. I turned it. There's an obvious issue there, and so for you folks around the other side of the world who are looking to pick up something stupid I'm selling, if my apologies to all the big girls around the rest of the planet that can't get the big girl stuff right now. Just wait, you'll get your turn.
I'm not seeing that.
That's
email.
a scam.
It's not a scam.
Nah.
No, I can't find that email, but I know I got it.
So Joanna says she's taking stuff off eBay to put stuff on Facebook Marketplace to clears out stuff. You got to have a different. You've got to have multiple places to sell this stuff. If you're dependent on just one platform, you're limiting yourself to the exposure to customers. And no Lag, we don't want you to go exposing yourself to people.
Not that kind of
exposure. We're not looking for that kind of exposure. So you just calm down. You got to get your items out there. I sell at the local auction stuff that if it's on eBay and I don't think it's been on there a while, I'll just take it down and send it to the auction. I buy a lot of stuff just go to auction knowing that I would never put it on eBay, and I would have never made the money on those items just because I never would have bought them because I knew I never would have listed them. Bigger stuff. So I've got a set of scaffolding up there this week. Is anybody willing to ship scaffolding? I know there's people out there that will. Oh, beer, put it on a pallet. All that. Man, I ain't got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I mean, I realize it's probably not too terribly difficult.
For those who are wondering, yes, Prairie Grit is still a thing. It still exists.
It still exists, yes.
It's still a thing. It's not what it was, but it's still a thing.
Yeah, Kat the Nurse Flipper is a show. It was last night. I think she does. I don't know what time it is. It's Tuesday nights from something to something. It was a nice show. I answered a lot of questions. They seem like pretty nice people. I actually somebody sent me a link. I didn't even know that show existed. So I was out here wandering around and carrying on. So it was something good to listen to in the background. Yeah, James, I don't get that. eBay buyers. I've had a couple. So it's a good or a bad thing. They buy it, and then 2 minutes later they request to cancel. So I get it. She might have some buyer's remorse. She might have, oh wait a minute, I found it cheaper somewhere else. I get those things. I guess you got to look at it one of two ways. It's a minor annoyance that you got to relist the items because it seems like most of my items are not eligible for relist, and I have to go in and change the quantity back to one or whatever number the quantity was. But that was probably going to be a problem buyer anyway. They had purchased the item and they were still looking for the bigger, better deal, and so at least you don't have to pay return shipping or whatever it is.
Yeah, a lot of buyers out there aren't doing their research up front. They're making rash decisions of buying something and then continuing to look, which is opposite of how they should do it, but there's no education that you can give them for that. But I just cancel it. I don't even care.
So Fred, I'm going to put my CIA hat on for you. So I've never seen your name. So welcome to the show, man. Secure photo works great till you decide not to use it anymore. You don't go in and delete everything for this. Samsung now has access to everything on your now dropped account. They have access to everything you have now when you're using it.
What are they going to do with your eBay photos?
I'm telling you, Big Brother just absolutely watches and does everything. There's no getting around the tracking and all that craziness.
It has been that way for probably. Well, when did the internet start? It's been that way for a long time. It's like the people who put on Facebook. I do not give Facebook permission to use my.
Yeah, right.
Yes, you do.
No.
Just because you make a statement doesn't mean it's not that.
You check under your mama's bed. Phoebe just want to come say hello, and then she doesn't like any one of y'all. There you go.
By the way, your wife's little AI cartoons are pretty cool.
She's really she did those through Canva.
But they're looking really good. Can she keep a consistent character with Canva? I know that is part of the issue with AI. You can't keep a consistent character.
Yeah, like I would know. I don't have any idea.
I just they look really good though.
There's nothing, Fred. It's hard to hide from. If you touch any. Okay, so I was watching a guy on TikTok, and he was talking about, it would be very easy to disappear. In this day and modern day and age, if you had some cash and wanted to disappear, you could do that.
Good luck.
But you got to walk away from every account, every device, and then to get your
every device nowadays has facial recognition. You're not going to get very far unless you're living in the woods.
Trying to keep the door closed because it's freaking 30 degrees.
They'll never get me. I only ever show my hands.
And so, but you'd have to walk away from every account, every device, everything. And then once you have a new device, they're tracking you again. This is, there's a guy on the internet I watch, the internet privacy guy. He's an Oriental descent, or I think Oriental.
I know who you're talking about.
He's got a big channel. He talks about de-Google phones. That's where I found him the first time, looking at phones that don't have any Google services. But still, there is every time you log into an app or an account, they start getting data on you. So
yeah, how do you live without using some Google service or some Apple service or some, if you're using phones on a daily basis, how do you do it in this day and age? You really can't. I mean, there are people. My wife's son still uses a flip phone, but even then, I'm sure there's ways.
So Amazon Seller 99 wanted to tell you, yes, no issues as far as he can tell. It's strange how, and that's the other thing that's been very, very interesting with eBay and all the issues they've had since, I guess, everybody says April. It's how it affects some people. It doesn't affect others. For everyone that goes, oh, my sales are terrible, there's somebody else to go, I don't know what you're talking about. Everything's just like it always has been. It's just very strange.
Yeah, mine never slowed down.
I actually know, Javis, that Prairie Grit is still a thing because when I was looking for something and I hit the shopping, it was listed. There was a picture of something that was on Prairie Grit, so I know it's still alive. That was a couple days ago.
somebody was joking about it about a month ago or something in our chat. So I looked it up, and it's still there. No, they're not what they were, but it's still there. And good luck to those guys. I hope they make something of it. Apparently, they're making something of it because it still exists.
So Bob C says there's a heads up that if you're avoiding labels on eBay, track for 30 days. Make sure you get your credit. There's a glitch. I would not have known that, Bob. Thanks for letting us know because I ship on pirate ship. Arg.
Arg, indeed.
Arg. So Jeremy says using UShip 15 minutes to learn it, you'll be able to ship almost anything. Right.
Todd, are you frying bacon over there?
Sorry, I'm messing with some bubble wrap.
Can you put a link to that show in the chat? Craig, is that what you did? Hopefully you.
Well, let's see how good Lag is now as a new wrench. Maybe Lag can put the link in there.
Anybody brave enough to make your debut, or Ms. Noel, if you want to stop typing and join us. So I'm hitting on the issue. Thanks, Jabez. That is very frustrating because the big system change I haven't liked is eBay has it's like they automatically enrolled you into the inventory thing where it zeroes out inventory. I am not smart enough to be able to keep up with how many items I have active. If they consider 0 items active, I'm just not. I have so much going on that when I looked the other day, because you can filter on when you search through your listings for not active or 0 or whatever it is. I had like 180 of them. I'm like, yeah, I need those 180 out of my life. So Noah, she's been shipped strawberry shortcake. I shipped strawberry shortcake this week, but it was just a watch, and it took me like 2 seconds to ship a 4-ounce watch.
How much did the watch sell for?
$25 plus shipping.
Nice.
The mug is still for sale. I figured it would be longer. The watch at a lower price point. So MSG said to ship a trunk lid with UShip. Got bids for $500. A bid for $1,000. Went through a freight broker. It got $3. So MSG is telling you the thing that I would tell you is when if you're shipping larger items like that, have multiple ways. If you're not satisfied with the price you get, especially with a UShip where you're depending on people to bid that, there's a USB hub here. The a UPS hub here, and you can ship stuff pallets through them.
And I learned that lesson 5 or 6, 7 years ago when we were shipping a paraplegic stand-up chair. We sold it for $2,500. I never shopped around. That thing cost me $500 to ship from here to Pittsburgh via UPS. But if I had shopped around, I might have been able to, go through FedEx or even a UShip. From here to Pittsburgh is a daily trip for some people using UShip. So it might have been a lot cheaper to do it that way, but I didn't know.
So here's so Noah, we're going to have I will disagree with you on this one. Had a buyer make an offer on a post last night. Coached the purse last night. I accepted. Just printing out the label. So I printed out the label for the purse. As I was doing it, they asked to cancel, and her next comment is cancel denied.
Not me.
It's for me. It's always cancel accept. And why do you say that, Beard? Because I am not going to send out something that they've changed their mind on that is going to come back, especially with free returns and chances of it getting damaged, chances of it getting swapped out. I mean, only
keep
bad
us up
things
to date on that. Let us know if that thing comes back. That's what I want.
Yeah, let us know about that part. Only bad things can happen. There's nothing other than you stuck it to them, you showed them bastard buyers. Yeah, you if it sold once, it'll sell again. And
I'll just cancel the label and move on. It's not worth me stressing over. I would stress over that thing until I knew they left me good feedback.
no, 100%.
So I shipped an item yesterday, a signed photograph of Ian Kinsler. And I got a message this morning from eBay saying, we canceled this order. We have a problem with this buyer. Don't ship it. And if you have shipped it, go to your carrier and see if they can stop the shipment. I'm like, well, crap, I already sent it.
That means the account's been hacked.
Well,
And if you've already sent, I've never tried to get it back. eBay still gives me the money for it. I've never had an issue with those.
so you just do nothing basically, Steve?
I do nothing on those.
Okay.
And eBay doesn't take the money. You still get the money for it. You can't get it back. I mean, it costs you what, $25 to get a return package?
I don't know.
Is that what it is? Something like that? Or a recall package? And the only time I've ever done it, they couldn't get it back. And that's almost always the case from what I hear. But
So Dave-
that's how I do it.
So Dave calls a QR code for pirate ship on your labels today. So I've got a few to ship out. I'll let you know. Bob wants to know where I got the sign behind me.
Well, he lives right next to an airport, so
That would be the wrong answer. I
know it's the wrong. I know better than that. You would not put it behind you if you had done that.
So I was on last spring, not this past spring, but spring for last. When I went down and met with Chad, there was a guy who worked at an airport. It's one of the little ones in Florida that they taken parts down. So it actually came off an air. The guy he worked there for quite a few years. So I bought it on the fleet across Florida, the spring one in 2022.
Speaking of Chad, he recently posted some pictures of some watches he restored for another reseller. I can't remember.
What he does,
man,
is anything he restores. Hey, good morning. Anything he restores is just crazy. So if y'all know, I can't imagine. Goldfinger Picker he's an OG, and his channel now is more of, I restored this. Look at this cool piece.
He's real salty too.
Hey, if you both touch the fingers together, would that be like the finger of God thing?
It'd be like the Matrix. It just crashes.
Ah!
Oh, I have unsubscribed from a lot of people this last weekend and this last week. I literally cannot stand. I can't stand the tension and the negativity and the people that say they're not going to do something and then they go ahead and do it, and people that take other people's stuff and don't give the other people credit for it. Done with it.
Yeah, it's you don't have to. I try to answer questions. I try to help you. Most of the stuff I don't come up with. If I don't think I'm smart enough to figure. I mean, I'm smart enough to figure out a lot of things, but there are things like if I have computer issues, Scan the Freedom's in the chat. He'll usually the first one I'll call and say, "Yo, dude, help me figure this out." He is extraordinarily good with a computure.
So is Jeremy doing it wrong. He's my nerd helper.
You
YouTube it.
The secret to being successful is it's not. You don't have to know it all. You just have to know how to figure. You just got to know where to You got to know where to go to get the information. That's
and if you don't know, somebody else does.
Correct.
I tell people all the time, if I don't know the answer, I can usually find somebody who does, and I can send you that way.
Yeah, Steve just told me not to do anything, and I can do that.
Hey, first of all, you can try to do how eBay instructs you to do that one, but I'm just telling you my experience. Don't ever do anything I do.
So normally if somebody cancels an order, I cancel it. I don't have a problem with that. I'm just like that. Boom, cancel, gone. But I had already printed out the shipping. So I waited. I haven't shipped it yet, but
If it's still in my possession, I still cancel it.
The computer says I shipped it. I figured lots of times if they really are serious, they'll send you a message too. So nope, I'm gonna ship it out.
They already sent you a message. They said cancel this.
Yeah.
But
what I would do in that case, I would say, "Oh, I've already shipped it." I would send them a message that way.
I did. I answered their cancellation. I said, I put the tracking number. I put the tracking number and the date in, and eBay sends them a message. It says your item has been shipped. It cannot be canceled.
Yeah, if it's still in my possession, I'll cancel it. It's just
strawberry shortcake house $9.33. That's a nice sale.
Two extra large boxes from U-Haul, which I had in my storage unit from when I moved. Frankenstein together, and it was funny because I stuck it in the back of the Jeep, and I came home to print the label out because I don't have internet at storage, and I had the hatch up, and my UPS guy, my cousin and my uncle both worked. My uncle worked for UPS, and so a lot of the UPS guys that have been delivering for a long time, they know me just because they know my cousin. So he was delivering a package across the street, and he goes, "That's going UPS, isn't it? It's too big." And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "You got a label on it?" And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Here, I'll just take it." And I was like, "Yes."
So Timothy Dole wants to know what's the issue between Best Buy and Media. There's no issue. They're just not going to sell it anymore. All their DVDs and all that stuff, they will not carry in store anymore.
Oh, Best Buy is not going to?
Yeah, starting next year.
When are they going to clearance that stuff out? That'd be nice to know.
Yeah. So Martha A, that's 100% correct. She said if it gets canceled, it sells shortly afterwards. I have found that to be true a lot. That's the old adage, and all these new YouTubers and new folks don't want to tell you the old ways work. I'm telling you, don't cancel. Don't a low baller. Let them sit there, wait the 24 hours or 48 hours. It shows activity on your account. It gets moved up in search. If somebody cancels like that, you're 100% correct. It shows activity on those items, and so they get moved up in search so people see them. And knowledge of the way that things used to work, just because they've changed the search methods and search methodology doesn't mean a lot of the other stuff doesn't still work.
If you have a 50% off sale before you ran that sale or after you started that, you got to do it before. You should go in and remove best offer from every freaking item. You can bulk edit it. If you're running a 50% off sale and you still have best offer on your items, you deserve a low ball offer. I'm sorry.
I don't care about low ball offers. I just let it sit. If I forgot to take it off or something.
James W is saying recall the package. Todd, I would if you're going to the post office anyway, I'd take the shipping and say, hey, this was eBay wants to know if this item can be stopped, and just if it's not been delivered, they can put a stop delivery.
You can do it you can do it from home on your computer. Costs $18.
There was one lowballer that bothered me, and he did it my former brother-in-law, they're divorced now. He would go to a yard sale. It wouldn't matter if it was a $1 item or a $10 item or a $1,000 item. He'd offer him $1 every freaking time, and it was so annoying to go to yard sales with that asshole.
Okay, this is it. This is important. Tactical Z has a great point of the show. Everybody needs to make sure they see this comment. There you go.
I can't see it.
Where is it?
Said Beard is a genius.
Where is it in the comments?
I can't see it. I think you've made that up.
Way up there.
Photoshopped.
So that's the key. And I don't know if people doing this show for so long, it's not because there's quite a few times you can't see. I've got browsers open. If I'm not 100% confident in the answer to a question, I will Google it very quickly while someone else talks for a minute, and then I'll give you an answer that I found and act like I knew it all along. Most of the time I confirm my own opinion, but every now and then I'll get something I go, damn, I didn't realize that. It's amazing. You know, Google is your friend. They're going to track you anyway, so just use the search engine. It's the best one out there. Everything comes with a price. Free is not always free.
Free is
Flag
never
always
free.
starts with 50 cents. Block Tactical Z. Good morning, Mr. Sadie.
So Bob T says, last question: are you still eating? So the key to my to weight loss, and I've kind of plateaued. I'm at like 191 now for I don't know last week and a half. Is don't tell her I ever said this, but the lovely wife inside. So like this. So the other day she cooked. She decided she was going to cook her version of one of these. I think it was. I don't know if it's all. It was. She used some kind of sauce from Buffalo Wild Wings, some kind of on chicken and noodles. But you know, I don't eat noodles because I'm trying to eat low carb, and so she baked the spaghetti squash and put mine on spaghetti squash and substituted out that. So now I'm eating a chicken with little no carbs, just what's in the sauce, because the squash doesn't have any. And to me, I like spaghetti squash better. So she is extraordinary. She grew up in little bitty Lickskill, Alabama, every summer with her grandmother. Taught her how to cook. She can cook. Man, that lady can cook, but she is very good at figuring out now how to sub out. Like tonight is pizza night, where Jacob is going to make pizzas tonight. King Arthur makes a low carb pizza dough. So mine will be made separate, and so the oven, you just throw two pizzas in the oven. The hardest thing to do is remember which one is which, and I think mine will have banana peppers on it, the other one won't. So it's a lot of it is the fact that you just, and then I don't have snacks around, so there's except for all the lovely snacks you guys sent, which I don't eat that stuff anyway. It's in the other room. None of that tempts me anymore. So, but
Isn't it weird though? Once you get away from that stuff, that there's a reason. Like
it doesn't.
I don't eat sugary stuff anymore, and it doesn't even hardly tempt me anymore. Once in a great while, I think about a Snickers bar, but
I could eat that whole jar though, and
yeah, but then you're gonna have kidney stones. So a small handful.
Kidney stones, schmidney stones.
You wouldn't say that if you had them. I had them so bad I had to have surgery twice.
My wife had them.
It's worse than child labor.
So Johnny does have those. I don't. They don't run in my family at all. I've never had any issues.
It doesn't. I need for people to quit saying things don't run in my family. Do you guys know that diabetes is not an inherited disease?
It is not.
Okay, so a lot of people think it is because every five of their siblings or whatever have it. Well, no, you all learn to eat the same way, and you all eat. And
that's why if people in your family have it, you should get checked. I get checked every once in a while.
Yeah, you should get checked, but I mean, type 2 diabetes is very easy to see. If you're overweight, you probably have it, or you're getting ready to have it. So type 2 diabetes is one of those diseases that is a my fault disease, and it can be fixed very easily with food. And I have my daughter-in-law, Dren's mom, died from type 1 diabetes, complications with her pregnancy with him. And then my granddaughter has type 1 diabetes. She was diagnosed when she was 6. That is totally different. And type 1 and type 2 diabetes do not run in families. They are not
so
genetically whatever. Same with kidney stones. Kidney stones are caused by what you eat.
So Buck Mountain Barn, I will give you the opposite. I don't necessarily run a 50% off sale. I'll usually run 15 or 20, but I leave the offers on just my personal preference, because most of the stuff on eBay is sourced at yard sales or at very low cost. And if I put it off 15% and somebody else wants to offer another a reasonable offer, I will still take it. And so I leave the offers on. It's just that is a personal preference, but also a lot of it too. It depends on what your cost is in an item. So I'll give you the opposite. I'm the firm believer that any action on an item, causes other reactions, and so even if I have to let an offer sit for 24 hours and go away, I'm all right with that.
I've never ran a 50% off sale, but even when I run my sales, I don't take my best offer off. It's there. You can ignore it. You can let them do whatever. You can send offers out to them, but if I was going to run a 50% off sale, I would probably remove it.
So Javis, that's a secret to this show and why I've done it for so long is, interacting with so many people through social media through the last, since 2015 and really talking to so many different sellers and I really take the opinion that there's not a right or a wrong way to do something. There's only the way you do it and the way somebody else does it. And it's not just because I don't agree with something doesn't make it wrong. It makes it wrong for me, but doesn't make it wrong for someone else and their business model. And so people are so negative, and I can't believe they sell this. And there are sellers out there that have big stores and still want to do based on numbers and selling based on, if that works for them and they still want to keep doing that, I have no problem. Keep doing whatever you do. My biggest problem is whenever you're doing something that goes against a platform where the direction they're going, and you blame the platform for being wrong for doing it to you. No, they're trying. They tell you twice a year at least, hey, this is the direction we're moving. These are the things that we're encouraging people to do. This is how we're going to do search. And then when it changes and they go, damn it, I can't believe they killed my store. They didn't kill your store. They gave you warning that this is the direction the company is moving and this is the direction to search. But there's no right or there's no wrong. No one I can look at the same sale and whether to take the offers off or not. And neither one of us is right or wrong. We're just the way we operate. It's right or wrong for the way we operate. And so it's
100%.
It's good to hear someone else with a different opinion. And that's the key to going to all these meetups and meeting people and talking to them is if you take the time to listen and their thought process and let them explain to you why they do it, you might go, that might work for me. Maybe I'll try it. What's the worst thing that can happen to try it? If you have an open mind, there's no right or there's no wrong in these kind of things. I mean, there are some wrongs. If you're trying to sell things that are not allowed, those kind of things, I get. But I'm not necessarily the one who's going to try to manipulate. I could get away with like I did the video. Then I did the video saying, "Hey, don't do this." I could make a video game listing just like they did, and I'm just not going to, because it's against the rules, and I believe that I'll need grace somewhere else because I will list something that can't be listed somewhere, and I'll need eBay to go, "Hey, we know you didn't know about that. Please don't relist it." I need that email instead of going, take 3 days off because you keep screwing around with us. Take 7 days off because you keep screwing around with us. So,
I lost my train of thought. What else is new?
Yeah, so Larry's never had spaghetti squash. It's a little sweeter than the spaghetti noodles when you're making spaghetti, but it's got just a touch of a different texture. But if you like squash, you like zucchini, you like those kind of things, you'll love spaghetti squash.
I grew a bunch of spaghetti squash this summer. I will have enough to make it through the winter and not have to buy any at the store. Yeah,
Joni, she goes to Trader Joe's once a week, every Thursday after her volunteer shift, and she usually picks up, I guess, one every other.
I stick them down in the basement. It stays cold. It's not super cold down there. It's not super hot. I don't have air conditioning down there, and I have a little tiny space heater that I put, and I set it at 70 degrees, and it keeps it perfect.
So Jeremy, you're 100% right, man. The best diet that works for you is the one that you can stay on. It's you've got to look at it. I've done them all, and I've failed at all of them, and I might fail at this one right now. But it's got to be. You've got to convert it to a lifestyle change. I tell you, I'm not the greatest at this, but I can tell you that being able to, because Joni is always obsessed with what we're going to eat for dinner because she cooks dinner every night or arranges something except for Tuesdays. I take care of Tuesday nights, me and the guys at wing night, but and so you got to have somebody in your corner. She knows how important it is to me, and so she takes care of that. But you've got to be able to something that you've got to stay on. Whatever your lifestyle choice is, you've got to be able to stay on it.
And it is exactly what you said. It's a lifestyle choice.
All right. So Texas Phil says, "Can I post a link to Joni's thing?" Yes. All right. Noel, tell them a story while I get this link.
I'm going to be on Fundamentals of Side Hustling Hump Day Hangout tonight, if anybody cares. If you guys know Derek and Regina Michelle, they are on it. They are on at 6 p.m.
You say fundamentals of what? Side hustle?
Fundamentals of Side Hustle. I'll pull up the link here and stick it in the chat. They're quite hilarious. I was on their show, gosh, years ago, 2-3 years ago. Let's see. Anyway,
that's it, Bill.
Have you ever watched them?
I've never heard of them. I don't watch. I don't watch a lot of YouTubers with reselling just because when you do this stuff 8, 10, 12 hours a day every day, and
I know.
Don't take a day off.
They don't always talk about reselling. They have a lot of other stuff that they do too.
Well, we never get off topic here. It's always about reselling.
Ron saying none of us from medical professionals don't make. Ron, I would challenge you to listen to some folks who I didn't argue with her because I have since read about the type 2 diabetes and the fact that it's not genetic. Most of the stuff. Okay, so the things that might be genetic are the way your body. If you've got a gene mutation, if you listen to a guy, what's Gary's last name? Methylation, your way your body. The vast majority of a lot of things are mineral deficiencies that are blamed on other things. I challenge you to do some reading.
Oh, Tom, you look so cold.
I'm freezing.
Oh, buddy.
Who's making coffee? I'm almost done with this one, Josh. So it was a double plus a shot of espresso to get me started this morning. So it's 24 ounces of coffee. Yeah.
Oh, Tom's got on his babushka blanket.
No, I got my SpongeBob on.
Okay. SpongeBob blanket.
So, Katorsh, I've never seen the name before. Welcome to the show. Sugar food can be an addiction. Folks, if you don't believe that statement to be true, do some reading on the science about the sugar and how your brain. Sugar is a poison.
Go watch a documentary. Sugar has the same effect and worse on your brain than cocaine does.
She's 100% right. Go look at. There is a reason why in the 50s and 60s they demonize fat and push sugar on you. And if you look at pictures from the 60s and 70s and look at starting in the 80s, Americans got, they took fiber out of bread and all this stuff, and everything's been replaced with processed sugars. Look at what it's done to our population.
Well, and people thinking that they need to have low fat. Well, that was from whatever president it was. I can't remember who it was, Nixon or FDR or whoever it was that had a heart attack while he was in office. And then they did all these studies and came up with the fact that I just watched a huge, I've known about this for a long time, but the low fat, and then they're adding all of these vitamins and iodine and crap. They're enriching. If you can just get away from anything that's in a box and a can, When you go shopping at a grocery store, you should stay on the outside.
On the outside, 100%.
But now, if you notice, a lot of grocery stores are putting the stuff that they're putting it in the center of the store. Like Walmart is like a jigsaw puzzle, right? But a lot of the grocery stores are now taking a lot of the healthier food. They're moving their freezers and their fresh areas to the center of the store, so that you have to walk through all of that stuff. So if you have a farmer's market, or you can have a garden, or you have a co-op that does fresh fruits and stuff like that, and you can keep yourself away from the grocery store.
So Larry says, is the eBay title builder worth it? I've never used it. If anybody has any experience with it, if I was going to build a title, so here, Larry, I don't build many titles. The way I find titles that work is the items I sell are generally have been sold before, and so I will pick the listing that looked like it was the most successful, sold latest, sold highest, and then I will kind of tweak that title to make sure I think it's got enough keywords. So I've never used a title builder because I don't make a lot of things that haven't sold before. Buck Mountain Barn, 50% off because the sales store's tanking. So this is a conspiracy theory. I guess that's right up my alley. So a friend that I miss every day. I think about Dusty a lot. He was a mad scientist with eBay, and the one thing he did was reset his store every 48 hours, 24 to 48 hours. Every day but he had a large store, so he was resetting part of it. I challenge you, this stuff still works no matter what anybody else tells you. They can tell you the AI doesn't do it anymore. But I have taken my store that I had not shut down and relisted. So basically what I did, I ended all my listings and I did sell similar and brought them all back. I had not done that in 6 months. And the amount of views and stuff went from, kind of a normal here. It shot up, and I had a huge weekend because I did it on Saturday morning when I woke up. Instead of going to yard sales, I tweaked my eBay store. Saturday and Sunday were great days, and it's good for about 48 to 72 hours. Monday started tailing off again. But the secret to this, and I challenge you as you do this, is as you're taking down your store, have a process of looking at your listings, because there's a reason why they didn't sell to begin with. So do they have bad titles? Are your prices? One of the biggest thing is prices. Prices move so much. Are you in the wrong price now? And so I would challenge you to check your titles, check your prices, check your specifics, and
check your categories.
So John did a video yesterday. Flipping ain't easy. I don't see him in here this morning. He had some listings that had calculated shipping on them. If you have put in the wrong weights and stuff, calculated shipping you're never going to get a sale on those items, because people look at it and go, holy shit, I'm not paying that much to ship that item. So be careful. Check all your listings to make sure your shipping is correct. Because remember, whether you do free or whether you charge for shipping, it's still a total price that people look at for the most part. And so I would challenge you, redo your store, but also improve at the same time. And that's the key. Is not just resetting the store to reset the store, but also individually look at the listings and make sure. Take 100 at a time, 20 at a time, whatever it is you got time for. I challenge you that you'll get results out of that. So falsehood finders, why am I ignoring you? Because you're in here just to create havoc.
Didn't I?
You want to tell you the truth?
Day?
You can live your lifestyle all you want to, falsehood friends. I truly don't care. It bothers me none. And I support the fact that you have that right to live how you want to. Absolutely. Unfortunately, you don't think I have the right to live like I want to. So that's the problem I have with most of the people like you. Have I ever tried carnivore? I have not tried carnivore, Josh, just because I've done keto for so long. But I need to do something to shake it up because I've been stuck at the same spot and I want to lose another 15 pounds.
There's a gal that I follow, Dr. Mindy. Oh, let me see if I can find her here. Perlez, and she does talks a lot about fasting. And if I can find her, I'll drop her channel in for anybody that she's There's a podcast that I listen to. Is anybody familiar with this? It's called Diary of a CEO. And he brings all of these people in. Good morning, Glenn. How are you doing? He is amazing. He just had I just watched his latest with I just had it. I download a lot of these podcasts so that I can listen to them while I'm in storage.
No cussing, damn it.
I know.
I'll remind you of that tomorrow, Scott.
So far, I'm only at one F-bomb so far, so it's not bad, right?
You know, I've come to the conclusion that a lot of people's eating habits is because they're bored.
Yep, I agree 100% with that statement.
Because of what?
They're bored.
Yep.
I don't time. You just sit around because
Right.
Just think about how many times are you when you're very busy, you don't notice you're hungry, you don't do whatever if you're busy. So while she looks for that,
I'm not even hungry a lot of the times when I'm eating something that I shouldn't be eating. So it's boredom. It really is.
So Brian says, "What's the brouhaha between Rockstar Football and Daily Fireman?" Please search YouTube to find that.
Yeah, nobody wants to talk about that.
I just honestly don't care. There's
plenty of information for you to find.
You've got one side screaming, you got the other guy that's not saying anything. So where there's smoke, there's fire. I just don't care. It can only lead you down a rabbit hole that puts negativity in your account and just distract you. I'm telling you right now, she just told y'all something important. I try to do this once a day after I've watched a couple of the ones, the people that talk or whatever. I put on a music or a podcast and just get to work and get away. There's a reason why I get away from YouTube and reselling is because of the drama and all the craziness. It can be nothing but bad and keep you watching and keep you. There are people that I watch. Tomorrow night I'll watch Noel on her channel. Until the auction gets me distracted, I'll watch like the first 45 minutes, and then I'll get excited about the auction and I'll forget. And then on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, I think Victoria comes on at night. Victoria at night. Just a fun group. They're a little crazy, so I'll hang out with her. They've been in here already this morning. 2 hip chicks on. I forgot yesterday. Damn it! So I turned on notifications.
Mary and Dawn. I need to put them in my computer.
They're on Tuesday and Thursday at lunch. They're fun to listen to. Pick people that you know are uplifting, or positive, or fun, or just are not about the drama. I'm telling you right. But you can learn so much with podcasts
that make you laugh and make you think.
I mean, you can learn so much with podcasts. I started out by listening to a lot of like Matt Walsh and some of those guys, and I decided that they were too negative for my mental psyche to continue to. If I want to get away from politics, I can't listen to people that comment on it. So
right.
You want to find the largest podcast out there, and he is so freaking interesting. Joe is so interesting. The guest he has, and his just interview style. When you sit and listen to Joe Rogan, is he the greatest interviewer? He is not. But he is an everyman who just sits there, and if he's got a question, he kind of asks it. He asks a question. I'm like, man, I want to know that. Very easy to listen to. It's 2 or 3 hours. The guys that were on there by Ancient Aliens, those guys are so freaking cool. He's had them on like 3 or 4 times. But it's just, I'm telling you, find something that creates an environment that you can work in without being distracted, without, it's important. Harbor's Hope, I'm not seeing a grayed out post. What's a grayed out?
Yeah, I didn't see one either.
I see one of mine. It says an error occurred on YouTube when I posted that link, so I tried again. I don't know if it showed up or not.
I like this guy, Diary of a CEO, because he just has tons of different people on. But I watched yesterday or listened to it. Actually took me 2 days to listen to it. The ADH doctor, Dr. Daniel Ammon, and he has scanned thousands of brains. And wow, was that interesting, the stuff that he showed and taught, and and there's just so many different amazing people that he has had on there. But Dr. Mindy, I put her chat in there. Why can't I think of her name? Mindy Pelez. She's the one that talks about the fasting and all of that, if you're interested in doing a jump start.
And what's his name has been talking about the diabetes and stuff. What's his name? I see him all the time. He's the one that worked for the insurance companies. I'll think of it in a minute. But Ken Berry, Trina mentioned Ken Berry.
I love Dr. Berry.
Dr. Berry is great.
There,
I
Josh,
wanna try his-
Dr. Josh Axe, AXE. He's
trying
amazing.
to get
He's
Johnny
great.
to try his method of cooking bacon in water. Have you seen the way Ken Berry they cook bacon? Him and his wife. She's got a big channel too. But the way he cooks bacon and boils bacon.
I haven't seen that.
It's very, very interesting. The way he cooks bacon. Don't look like that.
He boils bacon. That is.
Absolutely. You look it up. I thought the same thing till I watched it. I'm like, oh hell, look how
I
it
do
came
not.
out.
I'm not worried about watching it. I'm worried about the taste of that.
Garden of
Boiled
Eden.
bacon?
Even I don't think it's worth paying for a second category listing. Just choose the proper, what you think is going to be the best listing for your item.
I'm guessing
Let
very
me
few
see if I can
people.
explain. Nobody looks at categories.
That's
All
what
the
I was going to
stuff
say.
that-
Yeah.
They don't look at categories and all the.
I look at categories.
Okay,
Well, you
so
are
no-
a different sort of person.
She's
though.
the
I
only
know I
person
am.
in the U.S. that looks at categories. I buy and sell on eBay, Amazon. You know how many times I've looked at categories? If I did it today, it'd be the first time.
Well, you're gonna need to put. You're not gonna put women's nylons in eBay motors.
No, but
Well, maybe
as
you
a
should.
consumer,
Somebody,
consumers don't care about categories.
Yeah.
eBay does.
somebody is doing it because every time I search for something, it shows up and wants to know what make and model car this fits, and I'm like, what the hell?
That's
So
what I'm listing, by the way. A whole tote. Anybody needs some Givenchy or here's the ones we want.
Sugar worse than feed. Yes.
Fredericks of Hollywood's fishnet stockings. Yeah.
Ooh.
Harlan, that's so old news. It's now 33 in Huntsville. So there you go. 29 is
We
unacceptable.
have the red ones too. Victoria's Secret.
Ooh.
I have a whole box of them that I got for free, and they need to go away.
So Ken Berry, so Josh agrees with Ken Berry. There's another, what's his name? I watch all the time too about keto. What's his name?
There's I love. Do you want me to put Ken Berry's link in?
Sure.
I love him. I've been following him for years.
Dr. Eric Berg. What kind of?
I love Dr. Berg.
Dr. Berg.
Holy
Dr.
moly,
Berg is so
moly.
successful. Dr. Berg is so successful with teaching this kind of stuff on YouTube that they're trying to silence him.
Well, okay. They're trying to silence him because he's a Scientologist. So they're going after that aspect of him. And I'm just putting that out there. I could care less.
I hate Scientology. Ugh.
I hate the church. I hate the whole thing too, but we're not going to go into that. The fact of the matter is, you would never know he was. I never knew he was until his son put out a whole thing about it. And I don't pay any attention to it. Dr. Berg will have a 5-minute blip on something, and you can learn more in those 5 minutes from watching whatever he's talking about than you will ever learn from your doctor or anything else. He's got it all on the board and everything, and he is amazing.
By the way, I do want to make a statement. None of us are medical professionals. Look this stuff up on
that
your own.
is true.
So
just
Steve,
because
here,
somebody's a Scientologist doesn't mean they're a bad person. I love Tom Cruise movies.
Yeah.
But I don't like Tom Cruise as a
Steve, do some reading, buddy. Don't exercise. You like to learn something. I get it. So maybe Tom Tom should stay at home. But one of the most effective things you can do is just walk.
I have a freaking treadmill, dude. I walk that thing 30 minutes every damn day.
Yeah. So Rogan had on. I'm way behind on Rogan. So he had on Elon again. Good. I get something to listen to today. I'm trying to catch up. Skipping through a lot of the.
Dr. Ammon, the guy that I was telling you, it took me 2 days to listen to. He said walking, which many of us know, is one of the best things that you can do to improve your brain health. If you can walk 3 miles, and if you're 80 years old and you can walk 3 miles a day, 3 miles an hour, if you can walk at a speed of 3 miles an hour at the age of 80 and you do it daily, a walk, you will live to see 90. If you cannot at the age of 80 walk at a speed of 3 miles an hour, you're probably not going to see too many more years. I thought that was so funny. I was just like,
so none of the other resale channels talk about your health and why do, I've lost a lot of weight. I'm the worst one to talk about, but why is that important on a reselling channel that we at least discuss ideas and give you things to think about? It's because if you look at resellers, we're some of the most unhealthy people around. You spend a lot of time in front of your computer. You spend a lot of time driving. So what do you do when you're driving in cars? The worst, you eat snacks. There are lots of bad things. And so talking about healthy habits is just another part of, if you want to make reselling a lifestyle and do this over a long period of time, you've got to take care of yourself. Remember, how many conversations have we had on this channel about you're the CEO, you're the shipper, you're the sourcer, you're the high level thinker, you're the I got to take this to the post office, you're the problem solver. If your mind is not functioning right and your body is not right because you're struggling with health issues that could be corrected with diet and these other things, I just challenge you to do some reading. Don't believe anything I say, but I challenge you to do some reading, put yourself in better health. I can tell you now, losing 57 pounds, I feel like a different person. I have no aches. I have no pains. My knees feel like they're knees again. My ankles. I've told this story over and over. We were in Vegas for eBay Open in 17 and I bought some new shoes because my feet were hurting so bad. And I decided those shoes were terrible. I spent $100 I wasted on those Nike shoes. Turns out when I lost weight, I started wearing those shoes again. I realized it wasn't the shoes. It's just you were a fat ass. True story.
That's a good point right there, Scott, because I got up to 300 pounds, and it will just ease up on you fellas if you're not watching it. I was miserable. I didn't sleep good. I couldn't get comfortable in bed. And after I'm down to 270 now. I'm feeling better. I'm sleeping better. I don't know. And if I just offend anybody, I'm sorry. These people that are really big, I don't know how they function at all.
I don't either.
They have
I'm the same weight as
They have enablers. They have people that do the stuff for them. They have people that do the shopping, do the cooking, wipe their butts. And I'm not joking.
You see how when you go to the Walmart, because I'm from the South, so everything starts with the sugar. The Walmarts. You see these people riding around in the buggies, and look what they've got in their buggies. They've got sodas, and I'm not talking about diet sodas. I'm talking about
diet soda's worse than regular soda.
I got to get that.
But anyway, as far as Tom's, I can't even barely bend over to tie my shoes without getting out of breath because the belly's in the way.
But why is it important to me? The one thing I've noticed, and all of you should notice, is I mean, look at Stephen Strait. He'll tell you how amazing it is. Holy, that's an amazing transformation of a human. Congratulations, Stephen. You're an inspiration for me to keep eating correctly. But I can tell you, as I've reached my mid-50s now. You start looking around and realize that there is a culling effect that happens from mid-50s to mid-60s. Large people don't make it past their mid-60s. There's a few of them you'll find here or there, but look how many from the mid-50s and mid-60s. I don't want to. I want to make it like my grandparents said in mid to upper 80s.
So,
and So aspartame does have different effects, Brian, on different people. It's never bothered me a bit.
It's the chemicals that are in the diet soda. Okay, here's the reason why I can talk about this stuff, why I feel comfortable talking about this stuff. I had a daughter-in-law that was diagnosed with type 1.5 diabetes when she was 13. She got pregnant, and she ended up being a type 1 diabetic is what she was. She ended up passing away. She was on dialysis for 4 years. My grandson, who's 10 now, spent 4 years watching his mom die. My granddaughter, not from another child, got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when she was 6. If you don't think that I haven't been through a butt ton of research and training to deal with that child because her mother had a nervous breakdown and started drinking because she couldn't deal with it, which no disrespect to her at all. That's just what happened. I researched the crap out of that. When I had cancer, they gave me 3 months to live. I had 14 some surgeries. That was in 2011. I have researched healthy food and that kind of stuff for myself. So I have that knowledge up here. But diet soda and the Diabetes Association, all of those people, all of the trainers, the JDRF is amazing. Diet soda is worse for you than regular soda. If you are a type 1 diabetic and you're going to drink a soda, God forbid, give yourself carbs for the freaking sugar and have a soda. I don't have soda in my house. Juice is one of the worst things that you could ever have. I had enough of whatever I needed to do if my granddaughter was going low that I could give her something. But I never kept soda or anything like that in my house, and I still don't. It's one of the worst.
Jeremy's got it right. It says it can affect some people. It does affect others. Diet soda has never affected me one bit. But I know Harlan, if he drinks diet sodas, he gets spots in his eye, floaters in his eyes, and all kinds of. Yeah, it does. But there's lots of studies on those kind of things.
It's hard, and no judgment towards anybody. Water.
By the way, I got to make another statement, Bob. Never will I back off my spam. I only eat it once a year. And again, none of us are doctors. Look this stuff up on your own.
No, but it's just I just challenge you to take care of yourself. That's
Figure out what works best for you. What can you do that's best for you? Listen to other people. Do your own research and do what you need to do for yourself. That's all you can do.
I would guess that drinking soda of any sort is probably not the best option.
Yeah, midlife picker. You have to watch out for erythritol because any of those talls will put you on the commode pretty quick.
I have some fucking.
Yeah, well, like alcohol, glycol, anything that has an all in it is a sugar, some form of a sugar. They came out with these potato chips. Oh, I don't know how long ago it was, but my
God, they were killers. They would put you on a toilet so fast. Holy
crap. My oldest son was in the military. He was in the National Guard. And he had come home and he had to get new ID, or maybe he was getting ready to go to base. He had to get new ID. So I took him down to the Fort Vancouver here. And there was a general with his wife getting her a new ID. And this gal had a package of those chips on her desk. And he goes, have you ever read the back of that? The things on the back of that? He goes, so he's reading them. And my face must have been something pretty exciting because the general could see me. He couldn't see my son. And I was just like, my son. And he goes, it'll cause spastic colon diarrhea. And he goes, did you read that?
Yeah, it was Lay's back in the late 90s. It had an Olestra in it.
Yes.
Olestra. Oh, that stuff was for those of you young folks don't know about Olestra. Holy moly. So because your health's important because you truly, if your health is struggling, it's hard to continue to work for yourself. Reselling is tough, folks. Reselling is not an easy life. Is it a lot of fun if you love it? It's, you know, do what you love. It's not easy, so take care of yourself.
Julie,
So
Vanderman, are you saying that the doctor said that this person became a type 1 diabetic at 13 because of her diet? Because that's not how type 1 diabetes works.
it's all right. We're not going to argue about this.
That's all right. Yeah.
You know, all the truck drivers I know, they're big guys and big girls. Because what do? They sit.
Anal leakage. That's what it was.
They drive. Oh, thank you. That is just
Sorry.
they drive and they eat.
So
I do know a guy who's a truck driver who's very skinny.
Oh, is he? Does he smoke
Yeah,
all the time?
Is Billy a smoker? I think he
They
does.
do, because what are they doing all day long?
They're sitting and riding.
They're sitting. They eat while they drive. They sleep in the back of their trucks. A lot of them do. I built Freightliners for 15 years. Okay. Thanks, Julie. Sorry about that. Anyway, and then some of them, if they're a team, like a husband and wife team, they'll get out and walk and do stuff like that. But then a lot of them have to unload their trucks themselves, but a lot of them don't. They have somebody else come and unload their trucks. So yeah, that's what seems like could be a very sedentary life, except for when they're hooking their trailers up and loading trucks and stuff like that. But yeah, a lot of the big, especially the long haul truckers, right?
So somewhat certain eBay search. So eBay search, they have taken the Amazon model and we'll get back to that and they have sold their search. And so how do you sell search? You're going to sell people, the illusion of clicks, the illusion of look, you promoted, whatever they call that word, where you're seen in a search and you're in a search. I forget the name of the word. But most of it is total worthless garbage. And so if you promote a listing, like I was looking for an ink cartridge, I was looking for an HP 63, and it showed some 64 sponsored listings for a 64, a 901, all these different ones. And people are putting their, willing to pay money to promote listings for the chance that someone will go, you know what? If you're looking for a specific item, maybe they'll buy this one instead. And because were there some sponsored listings with the HP63, there were some of those, and those would be effective, but so many of them were different. And so you've got to, item specifics or every specific you can put on a listing helps you in a search, helps you show up in the correct search, helps you. Am I saying don't do sponsored listings? I'm not saying that. I'm not, but I'm saying if you are putting up bad listings and hoping to go, if your answer to everything is, I'll just pay more for sponsored listings, and never look at your listing and look at whether the title has the correct keywords. Oh, but dear, I put the fire emojis in it. I put rare in it. Let's just think about how the waste of time resellers put on and making a title and things for listings. You'll put hard to find, HTF. Does anybody have you ever gone, when I looked up that HP63 cartridge, I didn't ask for a rare one. I didn't ask for a hard to find one. The only thing
I'll get it.
The initials that you might do are OEM. That's effective. I will search for an OEM because I don't want somebody's master brand cartridge. Analyze what you're doing with your titles and your specifics to show up in the correct search. Because I don't care how many wrong searches you show up in, you're not going to sell any items in a wrong search. You're just not. Nobody
Yeah.
wants.
I just
You
searched
know,
for hard to find HTF, the initials.
never-
270,000 plus results.
Now put rare in there.
Why would
Yeah.
somebody put that in there?
I don't know, because in my
Be-
personal opinion, rare is something that they made very few of.
200,000.
I'm gonna be real generous when I say less than a few of. Let's go with 1,000 were ever made, and there's 10 left in the world. That's rare.
Can you search by fire emoji?
Ooh, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't even know how to make the fire emoji.
I was just wondering because hard to find. Are they looking for when a person would search for an HTF? Are they looking for something to flip? I mean,
Let's talk.
if I'm looking for something, I'm looking for a 1947 widget. Blah blah blah. I want to kind of narrow it down to what I want.
But there are keywords. That's what I was getting at, Tom. Genuine and OEM are perfect keywords.
Always.
If you sell items that are reproduced by other, if you sell auto parts and you want to know that this is a genuine or an OEM part versus a aftermarket part, those are. But you got to evaluate what keywords work and what are. You want to show up in search and you want to sell more items. Here's a key for you folks. Forget you were ever a reseller and start thinking like you're a buyer. You know what you're going to get if you put a bunch of these other crazy stuff in there. You're going to get resellers sending you lowball offers trying to buy your shit so they can sell it correctly. That's what you're going to get
because they realize that you have no clue
what Tamara says right here is 100% true. I always put those type of words at the end if you're going to put them in. The first 5 words in your title are the most important words you want, and you don't need to build a sentence. You just need to have your words. So instead of putting lot of 6 vintage or a lot of 6 vintage, you'll see this all the time. Put Gloria Vanderbilt knee-high stockings, lot of 6 vintage 90s, all that other crap, that keywords and stuff that you want to put in, they need to go at the end. But the words that you want the most, the first 5 words, are what
there
come
are
up
3
with
words. There are 3 words you should never put in your title. Read the description. Every time I'm searching for something and I see read the description, I know there's something screwed up about that item. I am not even bothering.
I don't even click on it.
Read the description means my item is screwed up. There's something wrong. You know what I mean? So
the answer to the fire emoji question is number 1. I think Nicole looked. You cannot search that way.
Nope.
And the reason is because special characters, the @ symbol, plus symbols, X you can. Any kind of special symbol actually screws the search up. It won't. It doesn't work correctly with a search. Never put special symbol.
Authentic and original, same too.
But
I use the word vintage sometimes.
If you're in categories that are fake or like the same as genuine and OEM, those are, you don't always have to use those. But I would tell you, it depends on the item. Look at the items. If it's an item that is highly redone, those can be effective.
If you're using those words, though, you better make sure that those are authentic and originals.
Yep.
Because you will get an INAD.
But right now, if you've got auto parts that are OEM, genuine, Ford, Chevy, whatever,
FOMOCO,
be sure and put that in there because there is a shortage of parts, and there is going to be a shortage of parts for a while. And if you take your car to a Chevrolet dealership and they don't have the part, you can't run down to Napa and get a part and put on it because it avoids your
warranty.
Warranty. Thank you. I had an old man minute there. It will void your warranty. So people are they're looking for parts. Now, if you have a genuine part, they will pay. I mean, put it on there for you. They're not responsible for the part, but they will install it, and it keeps your warranty going. So
Eben says the fire emoji catches your eye. It doesn't catch my eye. It means skip. It means skip that listing is what it means to me.
When I see the fire emoji, I think to myself, this person doesn't know how to make a proper listing.
They're banking on the fact that it will catch somebody's eye. And
That's
for
true.
maybe casual users, it does.
But
For
in
experienced
search,
users,
you're wasting valuable space in a title that has no effect on a search whatsoever. You're hoping. So here's the other choice you got, Ben. How about building the listing correctly, pricing it correctly, and all these other things, and then you'll move up anyway, and you'll catch people's eyes because you have the best listing, not because you followed the guy who says he can do 100 listings an hour, and he probably teaches you to put fire in there.
in 1999, fire emojis would have been great.
Tamara,
Because
that did
that's
not
the only
grab
way
my
you could catch
attention
somebody's eye. There was no real search.
because I'm reading them all.
I'll keep that in mind, Texas. But that's what they told me. See, Scott misses the days when he was building his ads, like at Christmas time. He had all the flashy Christmas lights around his description.
I miss those days really.
And at Easter time, he had the Easter eggs all over his description.
It's amazing to me that people still use some of these things, like the look. That people still use that after how many years has eBay been around? And this stopped being popular in the early 2000s because
I can tell you why they still use this, because there's still so many new resellers out there who don't understand how to build proper listings, and they are looking for answers on YouTube. And if God, look at the resellers on YouTube and some of the people, you can't listen to them because they have no idea, no clue. They are new resellers who decided they're going to be YouTube stars, and they're going to show you what they're doing and whatever. And it's awful what they're doing because they don't know what they don't know. And it just perpetuates this cycle.
I'm going to say something controversial. Is that okay?
Go ahead. It's just Scott's channel.
Let her rip.
A lot of the advice out there is to use all 80 characters. But you don't need to. And the reason you don't need to is because you're putting shit in there, like stuff that doesn't need to be in the title. You should use as much as you can as long as it's relevant. You don't have to use it all. And same with pictures. There's only so many pictures you can take of a postcard.
Right.
Or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, you get 24, but you don't need to use them all.
And Garden of Ben here is talking about how important are the pictures. I was always taught to have a white background. Ben, I'm not being mean or nasty or whatever. You have a phone in your pocket. Does Google mean, and there's a microphone right here in your Google search. Do you need to have white backgrounds for your listings on eBay for Google? And it will answer that question for you.
Apparently, Google no longer insists on white backgrounds for eBay submissions. I think that's been the case for a while now, but eBay has officially stated that the Google policy does not require white background.
God, I wish my phone had Alexa on it. She's so much better than Siri. Sorry, Siri.
You can change Siri's voice.
I do use Siri on a daily basis, but only to do very basic things.
So here's what I would tell you. White backgrounds, you don't need it necessarily anymore. But I'm going to tell you this: if you want to really show an item, they're very effective. That's why people have always said do it. It showcases the item, and not if you're looking at somebody's got one of these wood color backgrounds or whatever, and you're trying to get details on an item. White shows off the item much more. The biggest thing you can do instead of focus on a background is what Amazon requires. The item must take up 75% of the picture. How many pictures have you seen that it's something about this size and it looks like this in this picture?
Yeah.
Instead of looking like that, it looks like this, and you go, well, that's what I'm looking for. Well, maybe if you concentrate on the item itself in the camera, whatever camera you use, do the zooming in the camera before you take the picture, so that you don't lose the quality of the picture. Because if you're using eBay's, if you decide, oh, I'll just take the picture and I'll use Zoom and eBay, the quality goes way down because you once you're doing it on the computer, you need the original picture, and then so Zoom with your camera.
Okay, I got to step in again.
Uh-oh.
Brian,
Where's
Bigfoot
Bigfoot?
Bigfoot was most certainly not filmed in Colorado. That was horrible. Anyway. I mean, it was clearly a guy in a costume.
Damn it.
Do you guys, and this is the question, do y'all get on eBay and just browse?
I will get on
Yes,
eBay
I
and
do
browse and research categories and stuff, because I'll talk about different categories on Thursday nights. And
You want to know how my wife became a better reseller than me almost instantly? First of all, she's smarter than I am. But second of all, she decided that every day she was going to browse a category on eBay and search from highest to lowest to see what sells in that particular category. And voila, she became a better reseller than me overnight.
I'm just talking
because
about,
of things like that.
I'm just talking about, do you know, just like when you go to the supermarket and you're going up and down the aisles and you stop and because something catches your eye. I'm not talking about, trying to specifically learn something. I'm just talking about just getting on there to spend some money.
I told you were an old woman.
I have on Mercari.
Every guy in the chat, please tell Tom we don't go to grocery stores and look at aisles. If you go to the grocery store, I got like 6 things I'm gonna pick up, and that's it. I don't need to be there an hour. I don't need to be there 10 hours. I don't need to talk to somebody. I don't need to get stuff off the shelf for them. I got 5 items to pick up. I'm gonna pick up those items. I'm out the damn door.
I got things to do, places to go.
Door.
I fuss at our manager of our store because every once in a while they move shit around in the store. I know
for a better buying experience, Tom.
I know where everything's at in their store, and if I need to go in there and get a couple things, I go here and then aisle 6, and I'm at checkout.
So that's what Walmart's been rearranging their stores, but the apps are at least keeping up with them. I'm like, if I need something, while I'm in the store because it recognizes you're there, I need this, and I'll wander right to it, and then I'm out. I'm not looking.
So, because of me delivering for Walmart,
everybody have a great day.
Because of me delivering for Walmart, I have special access to their app, obviously, and sometimes I go in and do shopping, and they give me the exact aisle. Every aisle in Walmart has a letter, and so like in the grocery aisle, it's A, and then a section number 1 or 2 or up to 17, 18, whatever it is, and then it goes down. There's another number, like section 23 on the aisle on the shelf there. So when I go in to do a shopping trip, I know exactly where it's at. I walk right to it. I pick it up and I leave. And that's the way I do my own shopping too, except I don't have as much information.
So Jeremy, you're right. Except for Costco, man, I'll wander up and down all the Costco aisles just because they're not only it's not that they move stuff around as much. It's remember on Costco, if it's got an asterisk on the tag, that's not going to be reordered. It's going to go. So their inventory changes. And so I will wander up and down Costco.
Harbor Freight, I wander around.
But it's no accident that we go to Costco to buy 3 things and we end up with a cart full because we wander. If you're on a budget, don't wander.
I use the hell out of Sam's Pickup and Walmart's Pickup and delivery services, the Walmart delivery and whatnot. Because I don't like dealing with the people. I mean, I guess I'm just getting old and cantankerous. I just don't want to put up with the stupid people. And
it's convenient.
I'm helping people stay employed by delivering it to my house, so my fat ass only has to waddle to the door.
Thank you.
So Aldi is different.
Wait, let me thank you after I ask you tip.
Very well.
Thank you.
But it's the search. You can help yourself out by being different. And why do I say being different? Doing the things that you need to do. to build
Larry,
your
the
listing
shopping
correctly.
pays very well.
With Walmart's free delivery thing, free shipping deal, if Amazon's not delivering here, Walmart's delivering here on a daily basis. I mean, because if I go to the grocery store to get a thing of butter, I'm going to end up with about 12 other items before I get out of there, because I'm thinking about, we're almost out of milk, and we're almost out of bread, and we're almost out of pinto beans.
I mean, these stores don't even want you to come inside anymore. I'm
Nope.
standing in Walmart's parking lot. Was it yesterday or the day before? And I'm sitting here looking at it. They've got 40 spaces marked off for deliver for pull up, and there's like 3 cars getting people. They've got veteran spaces. They've got 100 million handicap, and so like the first of every row, like the first 10 or 12 or 15 parking places, I'm like, are we that big a society but we have to walk now because we can't park anywhere close to the store? Does anybody else see that they do not want you? Home Depot yesterday, the same way. They had they had a parking space for people with unicorn horns. They had one for
Uniform horns.
if you have one leg. They had another one if you had 3 arms.
Well, see, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Everything under the sun parking. Am I the only one? I pull up to Walmart and there's 100 spaces open. There's only 2 cars picking up. I'll just go pull right in and park at number 22.
I park and I walk to the store, because I'll park off out in the parking lot where I don't have to try to park my vehicle in between 2 idiots that don't know how to park in a parking space. And I need to exercise, but I'll park out there and I'll drop my wife off at the front door and then go park and walk in. I don't like dealing with the parking, but
that's right, John. I've been doing that. I've been identifying as whatever that parking space is for. In Lowe's yesterday was the worst. So I'm trying to run into Lowe's. So normally I'll park the big truck out in the middle of nowhere and walk. I want the steps. But yesterday I was on a time crunch. I'm on my way to Home Depot to get some boxes to ship 2 printers. And I need one from Home Depot and one from Lowe's. Because if you don't know, Home Depot and Lowe's boxes are not the same sizes anymore. So I needed one from each. And on the way to Home Depot, I realized, wait a minute, it's Halloween. Of course it's Halloween. Why does that matter to me? Because all my plates expire October 31st on all the vehicles out here. I'm like, well, son, I'm going to have to go. I waited to the last day like an idiot. So I'm going to have to go get in line. But it was I think I waited like 22 minutes. It wasn't bad. But that spot is between the 2 Lowe's and the Home Depot. And the bad thing is I have to let UPS know by 3 to pick up. And it's 2:22 when I pull in to get the license plates. And so I got to be home by 3, and I'm trying to get through Lowe's, and there's 1 million Nobody is ordering online for Lowe's to have it put in their damn car. Come on, Lowe's. You don't need 13, 15, 17 parking spaces.
You'd be surprised.
Okay.
I just need to get in and get out.
Scott, you need to there's an app, and I'm sure it's for iPhones too, called Cozy. COZI. It is a scheduler, a calendar program, shopping list, and all that kind of stuff, and it's free. You can put stuff in that that calendar, and every year, October 1, get new tags. Go online and get new tags.
Google Calendars does that stuff too.
Yeah, well, this is real easy because my brother, it's you don't have to do any kind of special stuff. All my kids use it. So when we have doctor's appointments, they have doctor's appointments. Everybody knows when their doctor's appointments are.
Well, normally I do it by mail. I do it by mail and let them send it to me. But this year I decided that I was not going to pay for these special tags anymore.
Right.
Because we had 2 Alabama tags and a breast cancer tag.
Uh-huh.
That's 225 extra tax dollars or whatever. I'm like, you know what? So I had to go physically get the tags this year.
We have a donate life. Roberta's car has a donate life tag on it, and we'll pay for that. But I have a regular old tag on my car. But it's.
I asked Johnny. I gave Johnny the option. I'm like, you beat breast cancer dollar, and you're allowed to have breast cancer tag if you want to. We'll pay for. She's like, She actually decided she didn't want it. She's like, you know what, I'm good.
But Steve, I even tip the people that bring my stuff out to my car for me, and I don't know whether they're supposed to accept tips or not.
I do not know if they're supposed to.
But I give them the Walmart people, the Food Line people. I give them a little tip. But
I'm gonna have to come down there and deliver in Charlotte just to get you a big tip.
And you see these things about where people are not, they won't deliver because these people are not known to tip.
I don't do it that way.
Tipping is out of control. Tipping in the United States of America is out of control. I saw a video the other day where a lady was taking the stuff back to the store because they didn't tip or whatever. I'm like, she'd have been outraged so much. Yeah,
that was a fake video, by the way. But yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
For me personally,
I don't agree with that.
I tip people because because they're doing the effort and I don't have to. So it's a personal thing for me.
Brenda, no. We do get paid to deliver it, but let me tell you something. DoorDash's base pay is $2. So if you don't tip me, that's all they pay. If Walmart's base pay is $7.
I'll give you the counter argument.
That's all they pay.
Walmart is one of the richest companies in the world. They should pay their fucking employees. If they want it done, they should pay like everybody else does.
Absolutely.
Don't disagree. Now, when I go to do a delivery, I don't look at the tip at all. I look at the total amount, and if it's acceptable, I take the trip. Same with DoorDash, so if there's no tip on it, I don't give a flying crap.
So the one thing, Jeremy, I did notice about the boxes was whenever I folded the Home Depot box to put tape on it, it kind of creaked like it was much stiffer than it usually is. Because instead of just folding over and the crease being normal, the whole crease cracked. It was really weird. So I don't know if they're using a different material or a different coating or a different. It was really strange.
That's right. Martha says Instacart base pay. So your normal pay for Instacart will be $7, and then the tips are on top of that. So it doesn't matter if I'm going 25 miles or 2 miles, $7. That's what you get. So that's why a lot of these drivers say no tip, no trip. However, you don't have to take the $7 trip. There's plenty of other trips out there that you could take. I usually get about $20 or more a trip, no matter where I'm going with Walmart. Not always. Sometimes I take lower ones. Yesterday I had one that was $13, but it was only a couple of miles, and it was only one delivery.
So Jovial Juggler, I think somebody on the panel got the Todd. Did you get the email about International Combined?
Yes.
I barely read email. I
got it, but I can't find it. I don't know what I did with it.
Or maybe I got it this morning, but yeah.
I got it this morning, but I deleted it without reading it, and now I can't find it.
I've got 75 unread emails over my 5 accounts. Let's see if I got it. I'm live on the channel. That's nice.
Should I? Ooh, shit! I didn't even get that notification.
Yeah, I've got a friend that does Grubhub and DoorDash or whichever one he does, and I was surprised at how many orders he said that are never even picked up and delivered from most restaurants. Especially like McDonald's, because it's a lot of people from McDonald's will tip like $1 or nothing. And he'll go to pick up somebody's order because they tip well, and he said there'll be 15 or 20 orders sitting on the shelf waiting to be picked up, and they've been sitting there for a long time. And I said, well, what happens? And he said, well, they'll eventually just keep increasing the amount that they'll give, a quarter at a time until somebody comes and picks it up. But a lot of times they're not even picked up and delivered.
And that's the only reason that tipping is important it's important to a driver, because driver doesn't get paid hardly anything. And I don't know what Grubhub pays, but DoorDash is certainly, it's $2 to $2.75 no matter where you live.
We see either there's a limited number of delivery people, or we seem to get we get the same people over and over and over delivering to our house.
Depends on where you're at, sure.
and Roberta thinks it's because we tip well.
Well,
Yeah.
no, because I can't. It doesn't get assigned to a certain person. It just goes out in the ether. You do get some that are assigned to you, but it's not. It's just based
So
on the
who's on
algorithm.
who's on the hook for that? If the food never gets picked up, does the restaurant eat the cost, or does the customer still pay for it?
The DoorDash you'll get a refund from DoorDash, and
Right.
I think the restaurant eats part and DoorDash eats part. So,
We had some pizza. We ordered some pizza one time from a new place, and they left it outside our kitchen door. And about 15, 20 minutes later, I went outside to get the mail and just about fell over the front door. By that time, it was already cold. And
every app that I've used, Tom, has a place you can put notes in there. Now,
Right.
not all drivers follow the notes. Some just don't give a flying fuck no matter how much you're paying for them. So it doesn't always work. But you can say knock on the door, ring doorbell. You can specify where to put it, that kind of thing. Or with Walmart, you can make it so you have to sign for it, and that way you got your groceries.
So
have you started
there
doing
is no perfect. There is no perfect job, folks. You're
No.
at every
By the way,
level.
the same complaints that you see with eBay and Amazon, the same type corporate sucks and they don't give a shit about. You'll see the same things with Walmart delivery and DoorDash. If you go in, actually, they're worse than those groups. It's horrible. So
Scott,
there is no perfect place.
Scott, since you were in the fast food industry for so many millennia, how do you feel about this being, the restaurants being like McDonald's, DoorDash, that kind of thing? Do you think that's more hassle for the daggum managers?
Oh, absolutely. It's chaos.
Of course it is.
And then you go add on top of that you have to take orders by app and everything else. The chaos has got to be insane.
The secret is they all use the same exact app. It all comes in on one app that somebody created to combine all the delivery programs. So it all comes on the same screen, and DoorDash will be red, and Grubhub will be orange, and Uber Eats will be green on that screen, so they know which one it goes to. So that is a little easier. However, it's the drivers a lot of the time that give a hassle to the managers, like Scott would have been. And so that's the hard part that they have to deal with. Because if you're not getting that order out quickly, the driver gets upset and starts making a hassle.
That's why I've been on a kick for the last few of these shows.
And customers.
About doing all you can do to do things the correct way. Building great listings. Doing some of the old school stuff. Resets. Don't call eBay to get your account reset. Just end them and relist them. But then when you do that, make sure that you check the listings to make sure that is there a reason why they didn't sell? Check the specifics, like we started the show this morning, because there's no perfect platform. If you go look anywhere, people are bitching about all of them. About Amazon, there's some big thing about Section 3 suspensions going on right now. There's always suspensions going on Amazon for whatever reason. Most of the time you hear people going, "Oh, but it just happened to me." How do I get They accuse me of drop shipping. Well, were you? Well, yeah. No shit.
That drop shipping thing. There are still people making videos that are resellers talking about drop shipping through Amazon. Because one came through my playlist and it was like 8 hours old. That's a definite no-no for Amazon.
There's no platform out there that allows that, I don't think. eBay doesn't allow it either.
I mean, and people are still making videos about
hundreds of those guys out there.
And one guy was like $1 million seller, and he got into drop shipping, and Amazon closed his account, and he's banned for life. Yeah, he admits in his video where he's talking about it that he knew better. He knew better. So it's no excuse except his own.
So how do you succeed in this business? You got to be a self-starter. You got to follow the rules, but you got to following the rules doesn't mean you look at what's you should be concerned about. Oh, I can't drop ship. Following the rules means that if they allow me to put this many item specifics in, I put this many freaking item specifics. Following rules does not mean you can't do things within the rules to maximize your chances of selling stuff. You know, there's no rule out there that says you can't end your whole store every 4 days and then restart it. There's nothing out there that says there's anything against that. If you've got enough listings and your store subscription plan to cover it, have at it. You know, but I challenge you. The other thing is figure out why. Figure out why is this listing not sold? You know, usually it's price or shipping. Usually you've got a bad title, you've got a bad price, or you've got shipping that people don't want to pay. There's generally some you know, run a sale. I mean, run a sale, don't take offers off, and you know, that'll show you right away if your pricing was wrong. You know, the search can only get you so far. You know, the one thing I did notice as I've been doing searches is the little fire emojis and all that stuff generally don't show up in the beginning. I don't know if it's just me or not. Items I've been looking up lately, but those type of lists, somebody do an experiment and tell us next week. You started searching for items and how many times you saw fire emojis in the beginning.
It's hot.
It's hot.
But you know, when I used to sell some postcards, because I came across a bunch of them, and they were like from the 30s and 40s, and they had been posted and whatnot. In my descriptions or in my title, it just said, you know, what the subject was, when it was that it was posted, when it was posted, and the condition of it. And I sold through those things like there was, you know, no tomorrow. And I think it's just because I have what people are looking for. They don't care that it's hot or it's rare. If they're looking for that item, they know it's rare.
So here's a very interesting one. So my computer here says the battery needs to be replaced. So before the show, I was where's Grumpy? He is actually on a cruise.
Is he on a cruise still? He was at meetings yesterday, I thought.
Evidently you haven't paid attention a lot to Jovial, to Grumpy. He's probably going to sell north of 5 million this year. The no money things are a thing of the past. He got through some crunches. That's not an issue anymore. Yeah.
No, he said he's got $1 million ideas, but no money. I think that's what he's saying.
I don't know. Maybe I read it wrong. But so I'm looking for.
I interpreted it the same way Harlan did.
I'm looking for batteries and for this computer. I searched for the battery, and in the first 4, so it's a 2019 computer. So it's 18, 19, and 20 will work. But yet the 4th item in search is for a 2013 battery. The 5th item in search is for a 2013, 2014, 2015. That is an issue. eBay has sold the search for Apple batteries. You know, how do you be more effective? Can you imagine if I clicked on these things and people are paying per click and they're showing up in the wrong search? A 2013 battery is not going to work in a 2019 computer.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Well, my mom, God love her, she's 89. She has a printer that quit working, and she wanted the exact printer. So I'd look for it. I couldn't find it. And I went on eBay. I searched for the exact HP model number, HP 4170 or whatever it was, and I was getting other brands of printers. About 40th on the line was the actual printer that she wanted. It was still in the box, new in the box, and I ordered it. I was just about to give up and just tell her, honey, we're just going to have to train you on a new printer.
So you know what's sad about printers, Tom?
What?
Is if you put the printer in there, you're going to see ink 100 million times. You almost have to. So I did a video, and it'll come out tomorrow, probably in the morning, about selling a printer and looking for ink. the first thing I had to do to get any results was search by highest so I could get rid of all the ink.
Well, I even put NIB new in my search request, trying to to help it filter down.
Somebody actually searches for that. Wow.
And this is part of eBay's problems. So Noel, she's gone, but she wants to talk about categories. Why do you put printers and printer inks and all the components in one category? If eBay was serious about categories and wanted you to look in categories, printers would be in their own damn category so you can filter out the printers from all the damn ink.
Yeah.
But they don't. They want you to sift through it because they're doing the shopping, they're doing the Walmart and the grocery store model. They're hoping that as you're looking through that you'll buy something else. But yet they're chasing off customers because you're making it so damn difficult to find what you want.
I'm searching for some random ink. HP.
I wonder if they do that because they sell. they probably sell 200 to 1 on ink to printers. I wonder if they push that forward. When eBay spoke at that conference the other day, people asked him about eBay Motors. Why are y'all pushing eBay Motors so much? And he said that's where we make our money. That's the hot category, and that's where the people are coming to.
I drove through my hometown the other day. Small hometown, less than 5,000 people. There are 4 auto parts stores in that town. 4 of them. And 3 of them are across the street from each other. And they're all successful. Auto parts are a huge category.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I don't understand how their search is working because, like in the case, normally if it was me looking for a printer, I'd run out here to Office Depot, get one, bring it out here, set it up, and I'm good to go in within 30 minutes. But in the case of my mom, and Todd, you know how old people are. They get fixated on one thing. She knows how to, because it's a all-in-one. She knows how to use all the buttons on it. She didn't want to change, and just trying to find a specific item. And you have to scroll down through all this stuff.
So for a printer, you actually have to physically type in the word. You can't just put the model number. You have to put printer with it in order to make it filter.
Well, I did.
So I just searched for a specific model printer, the one that I sell a lot. So in the 153 results, 1, 2, you got to go down to the 4th one to get to the first one of those printers. Because they served up a sponsored listing of a laser printer, another laser printer, they served up 3 laser printers before they got to the model you were looking for.
A lot of times when I'm doing that kind of search and I'm looking for a printer, I'm not gonna buy a new one. So I'll use the used filter, and that gets rid of a lot of that crap because most of that stuff is ink and promoted stuff, and most of the time those aren't used. Not always, but that helps get rid of a lot of things.
You can go back and look at some of the other ones, the shows before. I used to talk about eBay search was a strength. You could find what you were looking for with eBay search. And it is the waters are so muddy now, they have made it just like Amazon. Go type in something for Amazon and see how long it takes for you to find the exact item you were looking for. Amazon's the worst.
Especially with electronics and car parts and things that have model numbers.
It's clothing and stuff too. If you don't drill down super specific with clothing, you're never going to find what you're looking for. You're going to find what people are paying to put in front of you. It's yes. And I don't understand why does that not chase? I guess are people that lazy that are going to order in front of their computer and just go, well, that's good enough?
Garden of Eben, I recommend not using any special characters in your title.
I don't use any characters.
So the only time I use a special character is a dash if it's part of a model number or something like that. Other than that, do not use. What
eBay's going to do is they're going to do for $4.99 a month. You you get clean listings or replies to your search engine. If you're looking for a 4720 HP LaserJet printer, that's all you're going to get.
I think we're having some growing pains with the way these search engines work, and eventually they'll figure out, well, our sellers are getting way too many returns. I think eventually things might work its way.
Hey, that might be one of the comments of the day. That's why there's so many returns on Amazon, because Amazon searches you're counting on how many times have you bought something and you look at the reviews and it's some crazy brand that some reseller just made up the name for and ordered it from China, and so they've manipulated Amazon's search, they've manipulated Amazon's reviews, and you just get some Chinese piece of junk that they paid $1 for because they got it shipped in a container with all the rest of the dollar crap that they're
Somebody asked about you put commas and question marks and all that kind of stuff in your title.
Wow, your Tom is so far behind.
And so Jeremy said he puts a little cat emoji in his title. So
well, the answer is search engines don't see those. They see them all the same way. At %20 or whatever it is, %20 is how they see special characters. So you're better off just putting %20 in there.
So somebody search for the little cat face and see if it shows up for anything.
It won't show up on any. I guarantee that won't show up on any search engine. Not one.
Why did you have to guarantee it?
You want to run a bet?
You get for the money, Scott.
Because I know how search engines work, and eBay, Amazon, Google, they're all the same as far as the way they work. I have to see what
an up arrow. Where the hell is up arrow?
Even the dashes and model numbers sometimes I leave out, but I'll put it in there if I have noticed a difference on eBay, because they'll treat that as a space.
Okay, mine won't do the up arrow.
But they treat all special characters as spaces. Why don't you just copy and paste it, Scott?
Because I'm not up arrows and number 6. Oh, okay.
Just copy and paste it, then you don't have to worry about it.
Because I'm not in. It won't let you do it in the StreamYard.
Yeah, it does. I just did it. Huh. Imagine that.
I like doing this the hard way.
Imagine that. I just Googled it. You want to know the results?
Sure.
The little monster is out there with his fishing pole trying to find your thing. There isn't any.
All right.
Scott, you have a question. Do you
try it in eBay?
Okay, I just gave you the answer. Oh my God. Doing it wrong, Jeremy. He just cheated. Damn it, Jeremy. What the hell? It sent you to eBay Motors. If you search for the cat emoji, it sends you to eBay Motors.
Yep. A blank eBay Motors page with, just all the categories listed.
Depapa, I will put a battery in it. I would necessarily won't get my charger, but I will make sure it has a battery.
Does it matter if you make it a private listing or not? I've never made a listing private.
I've never made a listing private.
I don't know what that does.
In the old days, that used to be where if somebody makes you an offer,
right,
you can make it private and hide it from the general search. I don't do that.
You don't need to anymore.
If somebody makes me an offer and because I'll reduce the price on the listing, so they have to pay for it now. If somebody gets to it before you do, too bad, so sad.
Now the offers, you can send buyers offers, and they can send you one, and you can just respond to it straight that way.
Yeah, but it doesn't. But it's not instantaneous payout. I mean, they don't have to pay for it. I think some people are getting that feature now, where if somebody makes an offer and you accept the offer, then it's considered like buy it now. But
I turned it off. I turned the instant payment off.
Do you?
Just because I want to make it as easy as possible for my buyers. I very rarely have one. I know a lot of people do, but I very rarely have one wait.
I think that's a personal decision. I don't think it's.
It's just, it's my personal decision to do.
I
want to make it easy.
I seem to have had a lot of people waiting like to the limit, to the max number of days before they pay.
Yeah, and I think that for you, having that on is probably a good idea if that's the case. For me, it's almost never that I have to wait. It's usually right away,
Maybe I just.
and I don't understand why. It just is.
So if you do the little, Brenda said if you do the little pig one, it'll send you the men's clothing. But if you do the other one, it does send you to eBay mode as a cat.
Why does the pig send you to men's stuff?
Because men are
What are
pigs.
they trying to tell you?
Men
are pigs. Is that what I'm supposed to?
Yep. That's
It's
what
all right.
they're dissing the men.
I think
All
we
right.
need to. I think we need to go to petition.org and have this changed.
I know it's after 10 because my blood pressure medicine is telling me I have to go, or else I might have a warm,
Oh, shit, we
uncomfortable
went way
feeling.
over.
I might have a warm, uncomfortable feeling. It's going to be terrible.
Terrible for you. We won't
It's
even
been
notice.
11 hours. I mean, 2 hours and 18 minutes.
I could just use a coffee cup. Y'all wouldn't even know.
We wouldn't know. Damn.
So, that was.
Should I tell the story? No, I won't tell the story.
I know somebody who's done that on a live show before.
Back in the day, I used to drive an escort truck for the big mobile homes. You see the flashy lights on the little pickup truck. The driver that I drove with would not stop for anything. So
was it Jim Carrey?
No, his name. What was his name? Bruce. His name was Bruce. He would not stop. So I had to carry a Mountain Dew bottle with me. The problem with carrying a Mountain Dew bottle is the coloring is close to the same. So you probably don't want to do that.
Yeah, and this person's name.
I had to use it.
This person's name has been mentioned today, and they were no longer with us. And he did that on a live show multiple times.
Did he really? I didn't. Yeah,
you never ever notice how long he would go live and never leave that little bitty office?
Sure.
He must have made Harlan mad because he got out of here.
Harlan's at work.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
All right, I got to go. It's late.
See you, Tom.
Bye.
Yeah, I got to go too, but that's a true story. Oh, he was a legend. I miss him. All right. Everyone have a great week. Have a video out tomorrow. We're doing Friday nights for most Friday nights. We'll do it 7 o'clock this week, 7 o'clock Central.
I may jump in one of these times.
If you're old and have nothing else to do on a Friday night, join us. We'll go after John. Flipping ain't easy. And that way I won't have to sit around for an hour and figure out what to do. I'll just start at 7.
Sounds fun.
I know, right? Come listen to me and Todd talk about something else.
Sweetwater out.
See you later.
Go
Go Rangers.
Are they in the World Series?
Yeah.